Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to a very exciting episode 170 of NerdPod Generations. As always, I am one of your illustrious hosts, Steve Taylor, along with the always lovely Al Jetsam. Hello, sir.
Hello, friends and enemies.
It's our big NFL show, man.
It's
I look
that
forward
time
to
of
this
year.
every year.
So here's the thing. I love this show. I love doing this episode of the show. I hate it every time it comes around because that means we are through summer and somehow already into the fall. And this is like the fourth time this has happened to us doing this show. How many NFL shows have we done? I think we've done a few at this point. But
It's 2025, so it's been at least 5?
Something like that.
4 or 5, something
4 or
like
5,
that.
yeah.
But see, I'm the opposite. Like, I love the fall. I hate the summer. I'm done with this heat and humidity.
Yeah.
So, like, for me, this is super exciting because it means apples, cider, football,
sweaters.
Oh, sweaters. Oh,
yeah.
It's the best.
No, see, I agree with all of those things. It's the passage of time that bothers me. It's that, oh God, it's September 2025. Oh no, that's the part that gets me.
Okay, I can understand that.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, NerdPod Generations, episode 170. That means there are 169 previous episodes of pure gold. So please go back and listen to them. You can find them at Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can find us on nerdpodgen.com. There is a link on the main page to whatever the most recent episode is. There are also links to Spotify and to Apple Podcasts. There are also links to YouTube, which Al's been uploading little snippets and episodes of the past and present. And right now, we are going to start our show, our big show, with a little segment we like to call Watch, Play, Read. And what have you been watching, playing, reading? I am going to begin because Al's is going to transition into our main topic.
I have off-field football drama.
Yes.
To secondhand report on.
Oh,
and
I'm excited about this. Okay. So, real quick shout out to, I played Fortnite the other night with my son and one of his friends who's supposedly epically good at Fortnite, and I got 2 more kills than him in the game we got, and we got a victory royale, yes on daddy. Second thing, I watched last night, I had this opportunity where I was by myself and I didn't have any children around me, so I watched The Gentleman, which I have not seen in a little bit.
God, I love
Dude,
that
it was
movie.
so good. I think, like, it's tough to put it on my pantheon. I would put that in my top 25 probably favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
Like, that's how
it's
good
really
it
good.
is.
It's a great movie.
So good.
Yeah.
And just watching it and loving every bit of every scene, of every actor. It is, once again, it's weird how it turns out, but it is my favorite Colin Farrell performance, my favorite Matthew McConaughey performance, my favorite Charlie Hunnam, is that how you say his name?
I think.
Performance. Yeah. Like, those 3, easily my favorite performance. Yeah. I'm not going to say Hugh Grant, because I do like him in Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I just love how off character he's playing.
Oh, hugely off character.
He's been playing himself for over 20 years now.
Yes.
And in this, he plays like how Hugh Grant appears to all the rest of us.
Yeah.
Instead of how Hugh Grant performs himself to all of us.
I love it.
So it's absolutely brilliant. I just love when Fletcher is going around this brilliant apartment and he's just pointing out all these fancy things that he wants to have. And it's just forcing Charlie Hunnam to continuously, oh, is that Wagyu? Oh, I'd love some Wagyu. I'm so hungry.
When he walks away to go get the steaks and Hugh Grant touches the grill, oh!
Yeah.
That's hot, That murders me every time.
Yeah.
I laugh my ass off because it's like he really, as good a private detective as he's kind of an idiot.
Yeah.
Just watching him do that made me die.
The scene where they're pulling the body out of the freezer and he walks in from coming to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there holding his fly, watching this body walk across.
I forgot to wash my hands. It's so fucking good. No, but that's what I love is even the bit characters are so fucking good. And the youth in it, like, they did such a great job of making the...
Oh, God, I love that scene.
Well, they're very much like, do you ever see Attack the Block?
Yeah.
It reminded me so much, like, all the youth in this are just douchebag assholes who want to be gangsters.
And you have these 2 great youth groups. So you have the boxers, who are amazing. I love the boxing
they're
boys.
So fucking
They're so good. But then I love that scene where Charlie Hunnam chases down the kids that were recording them with the Russian oligarch's kid.
Yes.
And he's like, I will pay you for your phone. And all these teens are like, "Oh, he's trying to steal your phone, man! Like, what's
Dude.
going on? You think you're hard, dude?" And he pulls out this minigun, and he's like, "I could have paid you for the phone. I'm taking the phone either way."
Yeah.
So.
Oh, so fucking good. And I'm one of my favorite lines in this movie still is a Colin Farrell line. And for those of you who are listening, words are different in England.
Yes.
When the one boxer yells to the other boxer, "What are you doing, you black cunt?" And he goes, "Is that racist?" He goes, "Well, you are black and you are a cunt." So I think I was dying. I'm like, that is so brilliant writing. And once again, folks, that C word is differently used in England.
Yeah,
it does not mean what it means here.
We were just watching a John Oliver piece from a year ago about UK elections,
Oliver,
and it's always such a tightrope to walk with Oliver because you go there and you're like, "Oh, this will make me laugh," and also feel deep.
Yeah.
Endless depression.
Really make you pissed.
Yeah. But we were watching one on the UK elections because, hey, not my circus, not my monkeys. I'll watch someone else's circus be on fire. That sounds great. So he goes over how ubiquitous that word is.
Yes.
And what it means in English culture versus American culture.
Yes. And it's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love that movie. I cannot stress enough for those of you listening who have not seen it. Just watch it.
Yeah.
You will be thankful. I was one of those ones that I had a couple friends that were really talking it up, and I'm like, Guy Ritchie has really not really hit a good one since Snatch.
He was stumbling there for a long time.
Like the Sherlock Holmes are all right.
The Sherlock Holmes were good. King Arthur is
it's a movie.
It's a acquired taste.
Yes.
You have to be into that kind of thing.
I agree.
You have to be into watching these 40-something-year-old actors who should be 20-something-year-old actors perform these roles that you know but are also kind of Robin Hoodified. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, man, the entire cast of this movie should have been way younger.
No, I agree.
It should have been way younger. I love that movie, but the cast of that movie is hilariously too old. So, when Littlefinger shows up as the archer, and you're just like, dude, you're like 60.
Yeah.
Why are you Galahad? This is crazy pants.
That was weird.
Anyway, I agree. I love that movie.
It's a A++.
I love that that it has all of these various masculine prototypes, but that they have nuance to them. And so you have Matthew McConaughey, who is like this gruff gangster, but he loves his wife. He's not like a gangster who
and he's not
loves
like,
his wife.
You're my woman.
You're not. He doesn't see her as his property.
She's the queen.
He sees her as his better.
Yeah.
He knows that she is better than him at everything.
Yep.
And that he has everything because of her. And it's like, okay, I like that.
And like, there's that scene where he's smoking weed with her like foreman.
Yeah.
And she comes in the office and is like, "What the fuck are you doing?
Why are you fucking with my foreman?"
Yeah. And he's like,
and the foreman's like, "Sorry, boss."
Yeah.
And not to him.
And then she tells Matthew McConaughey, "All right, make tea and put the kettle on."
Yeah.
So he goes to make tea.
He goes and does it.
He's the big boss. And she's like, "No, you're fucking doing that."
Yeah.
Love it.
I love that Charlie Hunnam is this hard, he's a wartime consigliere who has real, actual OCD problems.
Yes.
Not like, oh, we're going to make him OCD to make him interesting. Like that scene where Matthew McConaughey takes him aside and Charlie Hunnam is like, "I cannot go in there. I can't do it. The germs, the everything, I can't do it." And Matthew McConaughey is like, "I understand. I need you to grow the fuck up about this right now. And we can have a conversation later about all of this, but for right now, I need you to do this."
And what I also liked is his sexuality
is very
gray area.
Yeah.
Because he has that, I'm going to use quotations because I have the same qualities. He has that effeminate where he's got to be clean. He's got to be dressed well. He can't ever be dirty. And it's like everything has got to be like really meticulous. And
everything is really nice.
Exactly. But it was so ambiguous. And I'm like, I love that about it because once again, this is what we always talked about. It doesn't always have to be about sex.
Yeah. Even Fletcher kind of jokes about it and offers to have sex with him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, I love it.
It's great. It's so I love that movie. I love that movie.
To go with your and this is going to be a little tangent. One of my favorite characters written for television, film, or whatever, on a show that I don't like because I think it is overly trying to be masculine and whatnot. The show Yellowstone.
Yeah.
The character Rip is so fucking good because he is this hard ass who is a cowboy, but just like you're saying, he loves Beth. He'll do anything for her. He will do anything for the people he works with if they're family. And he has that character quality where he's this super masculine guy, but something as simple as John Dunn, the lead character played by Kevin Costner, in a letter refers to him as his son, and he starts crying. And it's like, no other character in that show has that kind of emotional range. And that's why I don't like the show. It's like, Kevin Costner's character is a fucking joke. Like, it's something that somebody's like, all right, let's figure out a douchebag guy and just write it. And there you go. The character Beth, she's this over-the-top, like, way over-the-top character chewing up scenery. And so the show itself I don't like, but I will watch clips of just him because it is this golden character in this island of shit. And it's just amazing that you can see that kind of shit. And once again, we see it in a movie where it's well done all around.
Yeah.
But it is something I've noticed more.
We need, like, we've had kind of this in and out footsie game with being serious. We need to change how masculine characters are portrayed.
Yes.
Because it's bad. The toxicity is so bad that there are times where I'm like, I don't know if I identify as a man, because what being a man has become in the culture is so far from what I identify being a man as.
Well, and I think the starting point, I've never liked the term toxic masculinity, because once again, that can be used against what you're going for, because then men that are truly the ones that fit that demographic are using the title to turn other men who maybe don't have the intellectual capacity to understand they're being manipulated into that.
Yeah.
When instead of a toxic masculinity, they're just being an old word that I love, a douchebag.
Yeah.
And that's all they are. They're just douchebags.
Yeah.
And it's like they're idiots. And most of them, like, you look at the person that most people look there at as, like, not most people. The idiots on the right look at the pinnacle of masculinity is Donald Trump, who is the most unmasculine human being.
He wets his pants.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how else to put this for you, man.
Spray on tan, for fuck's sake.
Yes.
Like, he is the worst example of masculinity.
No. Have you seen how small his hands are? I bring it up because if he was actually masculine, he would joke about how small his hands were. Yeah. Like, being masculine is understanding your weaknesses and being comfortable with them and trying to grow with them. There's a sense of honor and decency to doing the right thing. Yes. And it's not about doing the easy thing. It's about doing the right thing. Yes. This is why I get so mad about the Acolyte being like, the Jedi are all evil. No. You're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Yes. You gotta stop. You gotta stop doing that. I really, when I see masculine characters that I gravitate towards, it's ones that understand the struggle, but part of the struggle is holding back. That's why it's a struggle. Yes. And so it's about controlling yourself and controlling what you can do, but also being a service to literally everyone else in the world. And the selfishness that just comes about, and the arrogance, and the I'm owed this nature of masculine culture is just such bullshit, and was such a big problem for me in my life for so long. That idea of, I'm a nice guy, I deserve to have the woman I like me back, simply because I'm a nice guy. Dude, it doesn't fucking work that way.
No, not at all.
And you are not owed jack shit. You are doing the baseline minimum to be a good person.
Yes.
You don't get a parade for doing the baseline minimum, okay? And if someone falls in love with you, that's awesome, but you don't get to control who that is.
Exactly.
And you don't get to claim another person as your property. If you want...
And this is going off of what you were saying about the gentleman. True masculinity is understanding there are psychological and physical differences between men and women. Appreciating the differences, but then not using them as like a superiority over females.
Recognizing that it's a two-way street.
Exactly.
There are things that women do that are way better than what men can do. And there are things that men can do that women just aren't capable of. It's usually, in my experience, a physical-mental pull. Men are physically more capable of doing certain things, lifting heavy weights and whatnot.
Yes.
Not to say that women can't do that, but just to say if you
took... No, but I mean, just physiologically...
Physiologically, if you
the
took...
testosterone gives you that strength.
If you took two people of the same age and the same workout regimen... the man would probably be able to lift more than the woman on average.
Well, and like I'll use the Serena Williams. Years ago there was this big uproar because John McEnroe said Serena Williams would be like the 108th best female player, or if she played against the men, she would be like destroyed. And everyone gave him all this shit. But then she went on a talk show and said, if I played Andy Murray, he would beat me in 10 minutes 6-0, 6-0. Because it's just different. And you gotta appreciate the differences.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to make them the same.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with this toxic masculinity. They think, well, we can do all this stuff and we might be able to do these things better than women. Well, this woman does better than you. Well, we don't worry about that.
Yeah.
We just worry about the stuff that I can do better.
Yeah.
And that's so fucking stupid.
That's stupid.
And that's why we're in the position we're in the world
Exactly.
right now.
Well, and especially going back to what I was saying is like this idea that women are mentally more capable, especially early on. But I would say, generally speaking, women have a better, more rounded worldview, which you can go into the nature versus nurture thing. You can go into, in ancient times, men had to be strong and make decisions quickly, and all. I don't know what garbage you're going to pull it, but like, there's arguments to be made for all of it. But the fact of the matter is that in my entire life, all of the women I've known have been way smarter than the vast majority of the guys, and way more emotionally competent. Women have been able to stomach a male-led film society for over 100 years, is because, I used to be that guy who would say like, oh, well, anybody can take anything out of any movie, which I still believe. Going to Captain Marvel, which we talked about a little while ago, this idea of like, this is a movie that really aims towards women more than men, and is that right? Is that okay? Are you dividing your audience? But that's what movie studios have been doing for women for decades. They just aim everything at men, and then women just get to pick up whatever's left over afterward. Or once every generation, you get a Douglas Sirk who comes in and is like, I'm going to make movies that are more interesting to women. And it's like, okay, cool, whatever. You and Rock Hudson have a fun time. I'm glad. Good for both of you. I'll be over here with Steve McQueen. I don't know what, So, like, anyway, my point being that we gotta knock this shit off. And going back to that idea of bad role models, you watched the beginning of Peacemaker.
Oh, my God.
We talked about this just before the show. We were just talking about this before the show, and I was like, hang on, put a pin in this.
Okay.
This needs to go on the show.
So I watched the first episode of Peacemaker. This is going to be some spoilers, folks, so I'm warning you right now. I loved the first season.
Yes.
Primarily because, A, it was different from what we've been seeing in the superhero genre.
Yeah.
It had my all-time favorite superhero character, new character, being a vigilante, who was fucking spectacular. And it just told a unique story.
Yeah.
And that's why I liked it. This one starts, well, first off, they changed the ending of the last season where he's walking out with Vigilante carrying Amelia, who is like his love interest.
Yeah, his quote-unquote.
And the Justice League shows up, and you see like the highlight of everybody, but it's just the Flash and Aquaman who actually speak. And it's pretty funny, and they blow him off. Well, they start with that ending, but they have the Justice Gang now. And it's fucking stupid.
And it's Hawk Girl and Green
Lantern. And it's the joke they say makes no fucking sense. It's fucking stupid. So right there and then I was like, I don't have a lot I'm looking forward to with this.
Yeah.
And then it rolls into he is trying to join the Justice Gang.
After blowing them off.
He's trying to join the Justice Gang. And he's going to a interview. And it's filled with terrible jokes. It's really fucking stupid.
And Sean Gunn's here.
Sean Gunn is the one leading the interview, and it's like he's the one doing the joke.
The idea that Maxwell Lord is the benefactor of the Justice League it does make my stomach turn a little bit.
It's fucking dumb.
Yeah.
And it's, they're throwing out these little connective lines to the Superman movie, and it's like you're just pigeonholing those little, like, some of the dialogue that connects it just doesn't fit, and it doesn't make sense.
It's almost like the original was from another universe, and then now we're trying to kind of squish it into this universe.
Exactly. And the big take of this first episode is Peacemaker goes into his alternate dimension where he has his helmets and everything, and it's not just the room for his stuff, it's this massive, almost like nowhere from Guardians, that has these different doors, and that's almost like Monsters Inc. now I think about it, that lead to these different universes. And, like, he sees an alien, and he tries to say hi, and the alien blows him off, and he gets all mad. And it's like, okay, that's fucking dumb. Well, he finds the door, because Eagly wants to fly, and it's snowing outside, so he lets Eagly fly around in this alternate dimension, and it finds a door that it wants to go in. And he goes in it, and it's an alternate dimension of his family, where his father and brother both live, and the three of them are a superhero trio.
Mm-hmm.
And it's... this alternate universe, weird. I wasn't a massive fan, and then I once again, this is going to be spoilers, folks. He runs into himself, who is like the actual Peacemaker from the other universe, and then accidentally kills him.
Oh, here we go. Now I got to pretend to be
But
him.
that's how the episode ends, and so you're like, oh, okay. But it's like I'm watching it now, like none of this is good. They have this really long, drawn out orgy scene at his house, because when he gets turned down by the Justice Gang, he goes home and does all the drugs, cocaine, like you name it, he does all these drugs, and then all of a sudden there are 40 naked people, completely full frontal, men, women, everything, doing sex, guys jerking off. Like, it is uncomfortable to watch, you know. And this is coming from a guy that when I was a kid, I would look in the TV guide to see if a movie had nudity, just so I could watch it to see nudity. And I'm watching this like, oh, I don't feel right. Like, it's the boys.
Yeah.
They are trying to be the boys now.
And this was the moment I was like, we got to record this for the show, because this is what always happens.
Yeah.
Is the boys... DC is DC, and everybody knows it for generations.
Yes.
And then the boys always comes along and says, we're going to just take all of DC's shit and just make it ribald, and this is what Superman would actually be like, and this is what Batman would actually be like, and this is what Wonder Woman would actually be like. But we're not going to transform those characters. We're just going to make carbon copies of them and splat them over here and be like, but this is what superheroes would actually be like. And it poisons the water hole. That whole thing that I was talking about in our review of Superman saving civilians.
Yeah.
As part of the storytelling, he has to save civilians. Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah.
But the reason that became a question was because of shows like The Boys, which became very popular for this, like, stark, dark look of, oh, civilians are just killed all the time.
Yeah.
Invincible, same thing, of just civilians are just killed all the time in superhero events. And it's fucking depressing.
Yeah.
And much like The Simpsons and Family Guy, The Simpsons was around for fucking forever. And then Family Guy came in and pretty much made a bad Xerox of The Simpsons. And then The Simpsons somehow turned into Family Guy in order to compete with Family Guy.
Yeah.
And you're just left being like, what the fuck? Like, I get it, but at some point you leaned in. At some point you said, yes, this is the direction. Okay, this is what the fan want. Then this is what the fans get.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Disney saying, oh, I thought everybody wanted Elio and stuff like that. That's fully original and not based on anything. I guess you guys don't actually want that, huh? And it's like, you got...
Well, we want it, but you got to make it good.
You got to and you got to advertise it. And you got to do all these other things that make people interested in it.
Yes.
Did you stop and wonder why people weren't interested in this particular project? Or did you just assume it was because it wasn't based on something? And so they immediately checked out because they didn't know the source material because it was all original.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, dude, you're missing the point of this. You're fully missing the point of this. And that's what it sounds like DC has kind of become, well, and that's what at least for Peacemaker.
I'm so worried about it because I'm so looking forward to it. I mean, you know how much I love the first season.
Yeah.
The only good part of this episode is there is a scene where Vigilante contacts John, who is the bespectacled IT guy on their team, and it's this really fun back and forth where Vigilante is on break at his job, and he calls John, and he's having this conversation with him, and you can tell John is frustrated because Vigilante is just going on, and John makes the statement how Vigilante has called him like every day to have a conversation like this, but then Vigilante's boss comes out, who used to be one of his coworkers, and their back and forth is fucking hysterical, and I loved every bit of that scene. But that was the only part of this episode that I liked.
Yeah.
And that fucking makes me mad. Because even the part where Amelia, they have her she's kicked out of working for the government because of, and I'm not joking, they say she's suffering from toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
And I'm watching it, I'm like, and even her, she's like, what the fuck? I have a vagina. And they're like, well, and I'm watching this like, this is so fucking dumb. And like, she intentionally gets herself into a bar fight just to get her ass kicked, I'm like, this is so fucking dumb.
Well, this sounds like I don't want to say it's an evolution, but this sounds like another version of her character arc in the first season. The first season, she gets into a bar fight to feel something, which is how she and Peacemaker bond in the first place. Is because he's there and she's there and they get into this bar fight kind of just to feel something. And it's just like, I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I can't say it's a full retread. But I'm looking over the steering wheel at this, and I'm like, so this is going to be some bit about how he has to pretend to be this other Peacemaker in this alternate universe where his family is aligned, but they're going to end up being evil. Because as we saw at the end of the first season, his dad is literally the head of the Ku Klux Klan in his home universe. So I can only imagine that hasn't changed too drastically. And I fully predict that he's going to wander home and end up wandering into the universe that we understand. And they're just going to have two Peacemakers that kind of point at each other. It's like, oh, we're so similar. We're like crazy similar. Maybe we should switch places. And then
it's just
all of it means nothing.
And then like one of the major plot points of last season was the Leota character, who is
judo fighter, judo master.
No, Leota is what's her face's daughter.
Yes,
Amanda Waller's daughter.
Yes.
And she's like,
I thought you were talking about little Yoda character,
no.
little Yoda.
But she's Peacemaker's pretty much best friend. And
yeah.
Like, the whole side story last episode was her and her girlfriend.
Yeah.
And how her girlfriend didn't want her to be part of this world because she hates the mother, and she knows she hates the mother. Well, now they broke up off screen. And it's because she's become like her mother, and But I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
Amanda Waller would not hang out socially with anyone, let alone Peacemaker.
But it's like, what I mean, she became like a mother. It's like she's okay with the violence and the like all that stuff now. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, I'm so taken aback by this first episode that I'm so nervous that this is going to be a terrible season.
This sounds like the reason why I stopped watching Breaking Bad, which is instead of progressing the story, you just do a hard reset and just try and recreate the first season with a few minor changes. When Jesse had his hard reset and goes back on meth, I'm like, God damn it, we spent 4 seasons getting you off meth. And now we're going to hard reset back to the beginning. No, I'm not doing this with you again, man.
The final season's pretty awesome.
I gotta finish it.
Final season's awesome.
But I hate it when shows do that. When they're like, oh, we don't know what... Lost did this with a few characters, where it's like, oh, we don't know what to do with them, so we're just going to hard reset them back a few seasons to how they were when we first met them. And it's like, no, dude, that was the whole point of getting through those seasons, was so that this character could progress and change, not for you to reset them back to another version that is more familiar to us as an audience when we started watching the show, but less familiar to us as an audience from where the character was 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. So, frustrating, to say the least. This is only a quick look into our future. Al knows this. I have also started watching Alien Earth.
It's a review
Fucking
to come.
watch this show. We will talk about it more. I'm not going to give you any kind of insight into the first 3 episodes which I watched. Fucking watch this show is all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Watch it so you'll be ready for when we have our discussion.
Yeah, I'm going to take this opportunity to very quickly talk about how I watched Alien Romulus.
Yes.
And I agree and disagree with some of your points, but the largest point was it was really fucking weird having Ian Holm there.
That was so weird.
I did not like it.
Yeah, I know.
I liked his character. I liked what his character brought to the story. I did not like it being Ian Holm. I thought that was weird and wrong. It is very funny that Isabella Merst keeps showing up in our inbox. But I thought she was good in this. I thought that she ended up being a MacGuffin, which kind of sucked. That was not as fun. And, you know, I did kind of agree with a lot of your points of just like, man, this is just a CW Alien movie.
And even the tall alien at the end, reminiscent to the end of Alien Resurrection.
Very reminiscent to the Prometheus. That's what I did like about that. Okay, I knew there was a reason I wanted to talk about Romulus. That's what I did like about Romulus. And what I did like about Ian Holm's character was that it was essentially a studio mandated moment to pull all of these strings together
Yes.
and be like, okay, so the last 3 movies haven't made jack shit sense. They've been crazy and all over the place, and just when you think they're connected, they're not connected, okay? But look at here, it is connected. Because of this movie now, it's going to connect all of these points, and now all that weird black glue from Prometheus and all the nonsense from Covenant, and it's all coming together here. And you're like, okay, simply for that, I like that. I like that element of this movie. I like how there's an element of both fighting facehuggers and xenomorphs. I like the scene where they have to raise the temperature of the room to sneak through because facehuggers read body temperature. I like some of the lore additions to this, but I agree with you. There were elements of it that just kind of fell apart towards the end, like Andy as a character, like I can't remember her name, Cammy or whatever, the main characters. Yeah. There were just elements of it that just didn't fit well, and I do like it more than Covenant and Prometheus. But that's
a low bar.
It's still really not better than Aliens or Alien. So,
well, and I'll tell you, watching Alien Earth has only reaffirmed my criticism because when you watch it, it is what this series needed: a fresh reboot. It doesn't completely reboot it because it's still in that universe, but it is a fresh look and take on it. And that's because the one thing also with Romulus is it just felt kind of samey in a lot of ways.
Oh, it's to the point where when they shoehorn in "Get Away From Her, You Bitch."
Yeah, that made me mad.
That sucked.
That made me mad.
That was so bad. Yeah. And also, we talked about this on during Murderbot. I'm really tired of this analogy where androids are just autistic people. Yeah. I'm really tired of this, man. And then they put a chip in him so he's no longer autistic, but it makes him evil. And so they have to take it out of him again so he can be autistic and good. And it's just like, I hate this, man. This is not cool. This is very not cool. Yeah. And, it didn't work in Predators or whatever the fuck the Olivia Munn one was.
Yeah, no, that was
that
terrible.
Sucked. It's not good here.
The Predator was that one.
And just like, oh, man, I want... Yeah. I
agree with you.
I want there to be elements of this movie to be redone because I do think that this movie helps in a lot of ways because in my mind, Prometheus and Covenant are basically like 12 chapters out of 2 separate books that have several books in between them. Mm-hmm. And so in the world of we're going to increase Alien's popularity by doing heavy lore. We're going to have the lore be the thing to come to Alien for. We're going to go into all the details of all of everything that happens in Alien and how it all leads to that moment with the xenomorph. I love that in concept, but the way that you went about introducing that lore fucking sucks. Mm-hmm. It's fucking bad, and it ruins everything, and it makes the lore approach look bad because it really does feel like here's a handful of notes from this one book, and here's a handful of notes from this other book, and it doesn't make any fucking sense on its own. And you're like, wow, there's a lot of stuff that seems to have happened off screen. That's fucking crazy because it happened in all these other books in between these 2 novels that we actually got to see. And then you get Romulus, and Romulus is like, okay, we're going to give you the Cliff Notes version of what the fuck is going on. And you're like, okay, I get it now. This is still a hugely flawed movie, but I would give it like a B. I'd give it like a B. I like it enough to buy it for $5. I'd watch it again.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll watch it again. But it was, to see it once, $5 was worth it.
Exactly. I paid less than I would have had to pay to go into the
theater. Yeah. So, a third of the price.
Yeah, exactly.